You probably know the feeling. Sweaty, fast breathing, quick heart rate. That's a cortisol spike. It feels awful, and its imbalance is the cause of your anxiety. Rebalance Health's 3-part anxiety system helps address it at the root. Rebalance Health lozenges are natural and designed for optimal absorption, providing 24-hour relief. Live life fully without feeling like you're fighting for it. Get 50% off your first month with code CALM23 at rebalancehealth.com.
Hey J360 Legion, welcome to another J360 Mini Bites.
Monster Fest, J360 Radio.
Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? What is happening?
Monster Fest.
Yeah, that'd be about right. Ah, man, it's time for the second week to roll out some more horrors and some more creepy things, isn't it? Well, yes, and I'm excited to do it. Another week of great hosting and another week of awesome content. And also, this is the week where we invade J360 TV, so stand by for everything to change over there because it's coming. One way or another, the Monster Fest win is just like... I don't think that's leaving us anytime soon, if you get my drift. Yes. By the way, I'm very, very much happy that you all are enjoying the content this year. It's been we are pulling no punches. We are really hitting hard with this, and not to mention, like, fighting and beating the algorithm senseless every time because it's doing whatever it can to block things back. Like, I've noticed, like, whenever I didn't showcase, like, certain things that didn't depict, like, you know, the monsters doing what they are supposed to do, terrorize people, it comes up a little bit slower, like, later in the night. And I'm like, hey, look, if you guys want to actually help out with this whole thing, you're doing a great job because you're putting it up at the right time. Because plenty of people are staying up late, bringing on their best ghoulish delights and everything. So you're just making this stuff a lot better for me. So, hey, one way or another. Hey, shout outs to J-Man for tricking the system, huh? That's what it be like, y'all. Like, sometimes you gotta play a little smarter than, like, the system that be, because the system that be is so fat, stupid, and reliant on AI, they have no idea what can be twisted around. But that being said, though, do not get complacent. And also, though, I want, like, to shout out to a lot of people. I noticed that the broadcast channel on Instagram, you know, like, I wanted to send stuff to you guys, but I also wanted to be, like, you know, everybody to see it. So it's kind of a mixed bag. You know, most people won't jump in on that unless they're joining it. So I will try to push that a little bit more, but I also have, like, something in play for all of you in the community anyway that I want to cut off from, like, this, you know, from anything Zuckerberg related or anything dealing with Musk. And that being said, it's going to take a little bit of time for me to make sure all that stuff is together, but I kind of want to go ahead and give a little trial run for Monster Fest's sake and all, because I want the community to have some fun. I want all you guys to unite. I want y'all to be, like, riding the waves on this stuff, because I got plenty of new coming for you, which is why you didn't get a Power Play episode last week. As we go through this stuff, sorry about that, the season weather's kind of getting to it, brother. But, no, don't worry, it's not COVID or anything, just a little mid-season cold. But other than that, though, I'm going to be alright. I am not going to let anything stop our party. I didn't let any bit of allergy stop me from doing Jamiversary. I'll be damned if I'm going to let cold and flu stop me from Monster Fest. Shoot, this is the biggest event in J360 Productions history. That being said, you know, the movies that have went through here, like I said, have been nonstop and stellar. Amazing with all sorts of ghoulish delight. And then, of course, you know, there's always that one movie that pops up in there, and it makes you think, brain bleach. Yeah. And let me just tell you, this movie was called, it was called Night Killer. And the funny part is that everything that could go wrong in a movie, this movie did it. Upon leaps and bounds, it did it. Anytime I ever see, like, the victim of a horror movie screaming out, no, and acting like they can't get away, even though they're on the inside of a locked door where they can change the locks and get out, I know that this is one of them kind of movies that you either A, really don't take seriously, or one of these movies that was developed for another factor, and then they decided to say, hey, look, because of home invasion movies and stuff like that, let's go ahead and make this into something like this. And then not to mention, like, you really don't interact with the killer that much, and you really don't know his motivation of why he's doing what he's doing, but you do kind of know who he is anyway, because, like, you ever really, like, look at certain people in a mystery movie, and it's like, you can tell that this person has either is the culprit or has a direct involvement in the crime some way, probably was the benefactor to the crime and everything else. Like, the bad guy that you really don't fight against, like, let's say, like, Emperor Palpatine kind of type. Little things like that. It's just very interesting to me. But also, I'm like, I can see how this was lazily done. And then, like always, the police is very useless in this one. Even though they had a gung-ho, crazy cowboy cop in there. And he was like, yeah, I should be out there blasting people with these. And he holding up the pistol and stuff. And I'm like, wow, we going into Samurai Cop there, territory? But then again, it's like, at least Samurai Cop was enjoyable. This was prodding to get through. You understand? Not to mention the main woman who was victimized yet left alive. Like, she ended up, her trauma, which is true. In some cases, your trauma can cause you to have, like, amnesia and to block out the event. But the thing about it is, she didn't know who her own daughter was. She didn't know who her neighbors that were taking care of her daughter was. And then, like, they kept talking about a husband, but there was this guy that kept on keeping an eye on her and everything. And, she had her gun and all that stuff ready to use it on him. Yeah, it's weird, and this stuff is happening in sequence, guys, without explanation at all. And, she made him take his clothes off and throw him in the toilet to flush down. And I was like, what the hell is this? Who is this guy? I was like, and what is her motivation for going to a public bathroom and stuff? But then later on, you find out that she tried to off herself a little bit later with barbiturates and medicines and all that stuff. And I'm like, look, if she's doing that, then, like, the police and the institution that had her shouldn't have let her out because she should be on suicide watch. But, like, wait, this is an early 90s movie. They don't care about that stuff. Or something like that. Which, by the way, it ain't a joke. If anybody's suffering through that or you know somebody, make sure they get the help they need, okay? But as we go about this, the guy who was stalking her stopped her from doing all those drugs and everything. And then later on, they're in a hotel room together. And he put on this false appearance that he was her psycho. You know what I'm saying? Because he would tie her up and all this other stuff. And then I noticed, I was like, yeah, this is not necessarily a horror movie. Oh, it's horrible to watch, but this is most definitely a porno film. But you see, the thing about it is, the porno film, all the porn cut out, basically, and you're just dealing with the hackneyed plot. So you're not dealing with any of the payoff and everything that involves those kind of incidents. Did I enjoy it? Hell no, man. Like, this stuff was just really, really sad, really. I was like, this is pitiful, man. How many more minutes do I have in this thing? And then I come find out, I was hoping that it was like one of those films that you get through. But nope, I had 40 more minutes left. I was like, damn! Look, I know this isn't horrifying, but like I said, I'm trying to take a very, very dark story here and make it light and laughable. Because God knows, the experiments was enduring. I was like, look, I'm invested in, but I gotta see how the rest of this train wreck goes. So as I'm sitting here watching how it all carries out with the woman and her stalker, like that whole thing could have been a movie all on its own, even though at the same time turned out he wasn't her stalker. The guy who was running around pillaging, killing women and stuff like that, turns out he was her neighbor, and then later on he went and saved her, brought her back to the house and everything, which restored her memory and all that jazz. And then when it restored her memory, she mentioned a name named Axel and all, and it turned out that Axel, who was her stalker, was her husband. And the thing about it is, when it was her husband, he was a disgraced police officer because he didn't act in the Call of Duty or some sort of crap that took place outside of the movie. But what happened is that, like, let's say the psychiatric doctor actually reunited them during the whole treatment procedure. So he had to put on an act as like a stalker and stuff, and couldn't talk to her like a husband would talk to a wife. So in a way of triggering her memory back. Yeah, far-fetched, I know, but you know what kind of movie I'm describing to y'all. So that's what it is. This was something that was marketed as something, and then it was reconfigured into something else and didn't satisfy anything. I was hoping to see like more blood and gore, you know, this woman actually taking control of her situation, kind of like I Spit on Your Grave, but nah. As we got there and all, we did see like some circumstances where she did, but it was hackneyed, and then like she remembered who he was and everything that he did, and then Axel came in there and rolled into the house, shot the dude, and then that was the end of him. And then you find out that they're happily married, they got the kid back and all, but you see the kid was raised by the neighbor, so in a way of like saying that it's not entirely over, she has on the mask that the neighbor wore, and she's saying, I'm gonna get you, and all that stuff, and then it goes off, and I'm like, get the bleach! Get the bleach! yeah, I was like, this is one of those movies where, once again, sometimes it just happens, whatever's in that lineup and all, and you think it has an interesting premise till you get in there, and you just see how wrong everything is. Not even the worst Roger Corman film could really mess this up, and then anything dealing with, like, bad trash, such as a Waters film, this movie takes it. You see what I'm saying? And it has no influence at all from neither director, and that's just, wow. See what I'm saying? And it tried to be one of those Italian Galileo films, but it just didn't work. Like, you know, an Argento film, like drama, like the one that I keep having a hard time pronouncing is like Suspiria. Like, yeah, like those movies, they had a certain class about them, and they blended horror and like any genre just right, and there was mystery involved in those films. So, you know, like, at least when you're looking at those things, you know, you have entertainment, you have the payoff. You look at this, you're like, geez, this is something that I don't even think an art house film could match any of the randomness in this damn film. You see what I'm saying? And unlike an art house film, this had a budget. So, bleh. It'll get a rating, and as I'm working on the scorecards now, doing like the show for you guys tonight, it'll get its rating, alright. But fortunately, I went to go and watch a better movie. Now, the movie that dealt with the humanoid monsters from the deep coming up, that was 10 times better, baby. Woo! So, you guys are going to have to wait for those ratings. Speaking of which, though, as we dive into it, Jam 78 submissions have been open. So, anybody who's sending stuff for Jam 78, you can. Please do. I've already described exactly how these submissions work now. No point in y'all getting lazy, alright? And this isn't a Vault episode, so bring them on, and you need to play, okay? Just letting you all know that. And the email for submissions is j360jams@gmail.com. Speaking of which, for those of you out there who have been also wondering about that community plan of mine, the community plan is we're going to fire up that J360 Discord sometime soon. And I would say sometime soon as like Saturday. What are you guys doing Saturday at 7, y'all? Because here's the thing. Some of these Monster Fest films, we can go ahead and watch together as a group. So, hey, I know where I'm going to be at. And for those of you in the broadcast channel, you get the link to it. And then like for those of you that are sitting on Twitter and stuff, I'll give you the link to it there as well. So we can go ahead and pilot test this thing out and make it a thing, alright? Huh? So, like I said, this big community plan here is for us to go ahead and just enjoy these films, have a good laugh, team up, and maybe do some riffing, but like I said before, you also want to see like what's going on before you do anything. But, yeah, we're going to have ourselves some movie night, y'all. We're going to have some fun. Y'all down with that? I'm down with it. That being said, though, let's see. Am I going to do it at the same time I'm doing the jams? No, not at all. Matter of fact, like, I mean the same weekend. We'll just have to see what happens. And, of course, to test everything out for J360 TV, I don't want you guys paying attention to YouTube. YouTube is going through it again. So, check out Twitch, okay? So that's twitch.tv/J360TV. It's a good thing we kept it. That's something for you guys to keep an eye on because we're going to bring the Power Play episode over there. It's the 50th episode, so it deserves a good celebration. But all in all, I got to get up out of here, so you guys take care of yourselves until we meet up again. Peace.
How long was Neil Armstrong actually on the moon? When did Europe start speaking English? Did Marco Polo really go to China? CuriosityStream is the streaming service for all things history, plus science, wildlife, and more. What's the real story behind the Mona Lisa? We've got that. What caused the collapse of Rome? We know. Where did we find mankind's earliest ancestor? Come find out. For the holidays, give the gift of curiosity with 25% off gift cards for your curious cohorts. It's holiday shopping season at curiositystream.com/gift.